Just like to let people know, if you're going to be sort of verbally abusive on my videos, right, especially on this video, please feel free to mail it to me on my good old suggestion box up there. Thank you. Okay, so this game is so overloved that even kids around the age of 9 years old, who actually play this by the way, get more defensive than Manchester United's back four in English Premier League football. You are deemed as attacking it if you have an opinion against it. It's like as if it's their own child being hunted down by a savage pack of wolverines. You ever read those comments on YouTube videos where if you don't like a certain YouTuber and you say something like, oh, I don't like him or her because so and so, I have my reasons why, the expected reaction is like as if Armageddon will suddenly happen. Because you have your own opinion. Pathetic. Those morons are in fact known as internet crybabies. I started my Grand Theft Auto experience with the very first game when it was very first released on the PlayStation 1 in the mid to late 90s. So I started when it was actually fresh. Being very hyped for trying new games when they were released for consoles back then, unlike now with the modern trash. I did for a short while actually like it, and it was probably due to the fact of playing a game top down that involves running people over and gunning mayhem around a local city, to be honest with you. It was a good laugh, just for a short period of time. Around a young age before my teen years began, I possessed the ability to actually, think for myself, which is something somewhat rare these days for even gamers around the globe to actually do, because a lot of people have stumbled upon this sort of, how can I put it, I'm not being misled in the multiverse of diffident sheep who jump on the same brain-dead bandwagon of having similar or the same opinions, or the same old, oh, if anybody disagrees with our opinion, we will slaughter you. Well, I'm sure you know the type I'm referring to here. During the early days of my Grand Theft Auto experience with the first Grand Theft Auto titles, I got tremendously bored. Not the type of boredom where I gamed for many hours, put so much time into it, going on months, only to actually be exhausted with boredom because there was nothing new to offer on the play, because I've actually exhausted every sort of gameplay in terms of its resources that is actually on that specific game. I still play games from 2 decades ago, at least, in this day and age, and love the living bloomin' virtual soul out of them. I'm talking about the kind of boredom where I feel like being trapped inside a body-sized indestructible material for millennia 500 miles deep below the earth, only to observe a wall or some sort of a rock while the rest of the world just continues spinning on in all its glory. Suffering is the word. The last GTA I actually had a good experience with, or if I even say good, at least that's giving the game way too much credit, was actually San Andreas. And that was only due to me going around my mates when I was living in London at his house to actually play on 2-player local multiplayer, which is something which I was hoping what GTA was actually going to implement in the games around my teen years. Only to wish that night would actually end so darn quick. Yes, I did like the idea of playing local co-op multiplayer on it. I actually did get a thrill though from the game. The kind of thrill that involves having a disease followed by puking up my intestines out through my bloody gob with the amount of fecal matter I actually bloomin' absorbed while playing this trash heap. On my adventurous trip, of even actually showing an interest in GTA 5, nothing changed. Nothing absolutely changed. Everything stayed the same. I still felt the same way from the games, from the PS1 all the way up to the PS4. I still felt the same lifeless, boring humidity of I've always felt with the GTA games. I've done my fair share of causing havoc on doing co-op matches on GTA 5, being a passenger in a vehicle that looks like it belongs in the Back to the Future films. enjoyed the arguments between the strangers, but allow me to clear a few things up for you right now. The GTA games do not appeal to me in any which way or form. I have played a lot of them as well, so you can't use the old, if you don't like it, don't play it. Well, how am I going to know if I like something if I don't get involved in it? In order for me not to like it, I have to form my opinion about what I don't like it in the first place, instead of, oh, I played it for a few minutes. How can I form an opinion out of that? Oh, the game sucks. Oh yeah, I won't play no more of it. What a waste of money that was. To me, it just seemed like senseless, boring violence. Boring. There is nothing wrong with the controls or the music aspects of the game, so there's a few positives. Whether it was on the PS1, PS2, PSP, PS3, PS4, or for the flipping PS10 in the future, I could not care less about its existence. Many of you have probably even typed up your flipping reactions to this video before I even said these words right now. Yep, predictable. Very good predictable YouTubers out there. Uno. I don't hate people who play it. You can play Superman 64, the E.T. on the Atari, you can play Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat, all the GTA games combined over and over again. Heck, you can play the life even out of Tic-Tac-Toe. I could not even give a toss right now. For all I care, play any game and any game you want. If you enjoy, right, playing certain games that appeal to your gaming aspects and your gaming needs, in other words, what you perceive as fun, more power to you, right? You crack on, mate. I just do not give a fat ounce of any care in the world whatsoever on the games that you like or even what you love. You have your gaming interests, your liked games, as do I. Number 2. Am I saying Grand Theft Auto is a bad game? No! Surprise! Oh, people these days, quick to assumptions. It isn't. Why? Well, because if it was a bad game, why would there be so many titles? It is in fact, to many people, minus the news reporters, a good and successful game by financial, by reputation, and just by, like, you know, gamers' enjoyment standards. So it's not a bad game in those respects. It's got a lot of money, a lot of people love playing it, and to a high extent, to a kind of a surprising one, a little bit, its community of players is a lot more interesting and better than Call of Duty, like, and these other first-person shooter trash nonsense as well. Grand Theft Auto has gone from top down, right, to actually having some visually pleasing, gameplay satisfying graphics that convinces you that, nope, I'm not playing a GTA game, I'm actually just controlling someone over there in the USA. You know, because what I mean by that is, like, when you play GTA, yeah, when it first started off on the PlayStation 1, it was top down and everything, but then it went to 3D world and all that. Now you're playing a game where you're actually having a look at certain bits of America, and you may think, oh, okay, I like traveling around here, traveling around there. Cool, awesome. Do I hate Grand Theft Auto? Boo for you if you don't. Yay for you if you do. Yay for you if you don't. Boo for you if you do. To be honest, I used to actually have a lot of hatred for this game. I just felt like I was just playing what feels like a repetitive game in a superior gaming machine. Superior. Tech-wise. Let's put it like that, tech-wise. It may bring new things like surroundings, missions, story, characters, weaponry, and all that good stuff, right? But I wouldn't say I hate it, considering that I've actually got GTA 5 in my PS4 collection. Also, not to mention on a few other consoles as well. Not the type of hate where I want the creators who actually created this game, namely the ones at Rockstar, to be a hung, drawn and quartered William Wallace style, right? I just disliked the game, right, for itself, for just not providing anything to me that I actually find appealing, or at least to enjoy anything about the game. Now, what I'm going to say next has to be said. Much like that you have to eat food and drink water to live, okay? And that is this. This is YouTube after all, so you've got to clear up a few things, especially when people are left guessing as to what you actually mean in the first place. And it is full of egocentric pillocks that abound on it. Right, so here we go. I speak from the bottom of my heart when I have my own opinions formed about whatever it is I want to talk about. I say my piece and I really do not care less how I come across when I actually say it. Whether it is an unpopular opinion, whether people will cry about it for me actually voicing it, which in YouTube's case on social media, everybody pretty much nearly also does that anyway. If you do not like it, that is not my problem. In fact, my opinion, speaking of which, should not even matter to you. It's about a video game. Why should that be a cause of concern for you to act like as if it's your children? It's just about a video game that is so overloved, so overhyped. To many, to an extent, they will say, yeah, it's a bit overrated, but at least I enjoy it. That type of thing, innit? Since you do not even know me personally, my opinion shouldn't really matter to you. For the people that actually say, okay, I respect your opinion, even though I disagree with it, but if you don't like the video game, that's fine. Just get on with your life, I'll get on with mine, happy days. But then you've got those other people saying, nah, you're absolutely wrong in your opinion. How dare you have an opinion? You disgusting, selfish, horrible man. Slap on your wrist for you. Why create such a problem? For people across the globe to act so aggressively, right? For sharing their thoughts for a particular subject. See, as I pointed out a few seconds ago, there is disagreeing with someone about their opinion. If you feel differently about it, fine. Have a genuine conversation. Find the middle ground, or find some sort of common middle line where you can actually say, okay, if you disagree with that, fine. If you find that you can actually have a genuine chat or conversation with the person who you're actually disagreeing with, actually, you want to know why they feel like this about a certain game, fine. I'm all for that. Those of you that disagree with me, fine. If you feel like you want to know why, I've kind of explained. So you actually know that the GTA is not my cup of tea, okay? There'll be little to no conflict, if any at all. Job well done. Then there's the crybaby side of things. It's just where people say, I'm going to eat your ankles and kick your nipples off your chest. So I'm going to be verbally insultive and verbally abusive to you and be like a little internet keyboard warrior because I'm across the side of the pond. Bottom line, I don't like GTA. I've played a lot of them, at least to give me some hope that maybe one day I may feel differently about a certain Grand Theft Auto title, and then maybe I like that one over the rest. If at least that was what I was hoping for. Nope. Still the same, I am very pleased to say. So, I'm going to continue my enjoyment in disliking the franchise, to be honest with you. Like I said, if you enjoy it and love it, more power to you. I'm not the only one who actually dislikes the game. In fact, there are many people out there who do dislike it. Certain videos I've seen on YouTube only reflects around GTA 4 and GTA 5 with their controls, characters and story. Me, it's the entire franchise. So I will enjoy using and spending my gaming time on many other video games that I'm probably going to enjoy and love. Not this one. Some might say to me, this is overrated. I am not bothered about it. It's just not my cup of tea with a couple of sugars, with a wonderful bit of a few biscuits dipping in. Thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and may retro gaming live on.